My people, with the usual pleasure, from this farm where every day we learn from life and the land, I welcome you. Today we're going to talk about one of the most delicate and exciting moments in a breeder's life, the arrival of the chicks. And I'm going to share a secret with you, a technique I discovered that completely transformed my results. Today I'm going to tell you how, by adding just one drop of this to my chicks' water, I managed to get them to grow, in my opinion, twice as fast and stronger than ever. I'm not going to talk to you about hormones or chemicals or expensive products. I'm going to talk to you about a homemade preparation, a secret of nature that gives our little animals the perfect start in life. So if you want your next batches of chicks to be the healthiest and most vigorous you've ever had, if you want to reduce mortality and see them grow with an amazing strength, I ask with all the love in the world for your support. Give this video a big like so. This community of breeders seeking the wisdom of the countryside keeps growing. Subscribe if you're not yet part of this journey and hit that bell, because the secret we're revealing today is one of those that marks a before and after. Now let's get to it. Before I give you the recipe for my drop of life, I want you to understand the promise in the title. When I say my chicks grew twice as fast, I don't mean that a chick that was supposed to measure 5 centimeters after a week suddenly measured 10. Nature doesn't work with that kind of magic. I mean something much deeper and, for us as breeders, much more valuable. A normal batch of chicks without this care always has its setbacks. Some get sick, others fall behind, others simply don't start strong. They grow, yes, but at an uneven pace and with mishaps. What I discovered is that with this method, those mishaps disappear. The chicks don't suffer that first day stall. They don't have diarrhea. They don't weaken. They start with such spectacular strength and uniformity that their growth rate, having no breaks, seems double that of a normal batch. It's not that they grow unnaturally, it's that they reach their maximum genetic potential from day one without a single misstep. That's the true double speed, the speed of perfect health, the battlefield, the gut of a newborn chick. To understand why a simple drop can have such a huge impact, we have to imagine what a chick looks like inside when it breaks the shell. Its immune system is immature. Its defenses are just forming, and most importantly, its digestive system, its gut, is virgin territory. It's a clean field, a freshly plowed garden, completely sterile. There's not a single bacterium in it, neither good nor bad. In nature, the first thing a chick does is peck at the remains of the nest in its mother's vent. And in doing so, its mother passes on, seeds it with her own intestinal flora, an army of billions of good, already adapted bacteria that colonize its gut and establish a fortress of health from the first hour of life. But our chicks, the ones we buy that arrive in a cardboard box, don't have that blessing. They are orphans, and their virgin gut is an open battlefield. And in the brooder environment, no matter how clean we keep it, there are bacteria everywhere, and bad bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli, or Clostridia are incredibly fast and aggressive at colonizing empty territory. And the first thing the chick drinks is plain water. The first thing it eats is dry feed. These bad bacteria often reach the gut first, settle in, multiply, and start causing problems. Diarrhea, the famous pasted vent, dehydration, poor nutrient absorption, and that's where our losses begin. The chick, instead of using the energy from food to grow, has to use it to fight an internal war it almost always loses. The secret then is very simple. Win the race against the bad bacteria. It's about us intentionally seeding our chick's intestinal garden with an army of good bacteria from their very first sip of water. It's giving them the mother flora that they couldn't receive from their own mom. And that is the power of this, of my drop of life, the serum of life, the recipe for the magic drops. This isn't a product you buy, it's a preparation we make at home with simple ingredients based on probiotic science. What we're going to create is a serum loaded with electrolytes for hydration, energy for travel stress, and most importantly, lactobacilli, which are the generals of the good bacteria army. The ingredients: clean, chlorine-free water, the foundation of everything. Remember, rainwater or tap water left to sit for 24 hours so the chlorine evaporates. Chlorine would kill our probiotics. Bee honey, pure or shaved panela, 1 tablespoon per liter of water. This gives them an immediate energy boost to recover from travel and stress. Salt, a small pinch. What you can grab with 2 fingers per liter, no more. This provides the electrolytes, sodium, and chloride they need for proper hydration. The probiotic source, and here is the star ingredient. We have 2 excellent and cheap options. Option A, natural yogurt. We need plain, unsweetened, unflavored yogurt that says on the label it contains live cultures or probiotics. High-quality yogurt is full of lactobacilli. Option B, my favorite, milk kefir whey or curd whey. If you prepare your own milk kefir, the kefir grains, or your own fresh cheese, the whey that's released is liquid gold. It's one of the most potent and diverse probiotics that exists. The preparation, in a liter of lukewarm water, not hot so as not to kill the microbes, dissolve the tablespoon of honey in the pinch of salt well. Once dissolved, add a tablespoon of our natural yogurt or our kefir curd whey. Stir gently, that's it. We've just created our serum of life for chicks. The welcome ritual, the critical first 24 hours. Now we're going to apply our secret. This is the protocol I follow that has reduced my first week mortality to almost zero. The brooder ready, as we've already learned, the brooder must be ready and preheated to 32 to 35 degrees at least a day before. Clean wood shavings, feeders ready. Water first, food second. This is the golden rule. When the chicks arrive, the first thing they must receive is our probiotic water. We don't put the food out yet. We want their first instinct to be drinking, and for the first inhabitants of their gut to be our soldiers, not the enemies. The baptism of life. We take each chick out of the box one by one and perform the sacred ritual. Carefully, we dip the tip of its beak into the serum of life. The chick will drink instinctively. In that first sip, we're giving it energy, hydration, and a seeding of billions of good bacteria. We place it inside the warm brooder. During the first hour, they will only have access to the probiotic water. We'll see how the most curious ones start drinking on their own. The first meal. After that first hour, now we do introduce the food, spreading it on cardboard lids so they find it easily. Having drunk first, their system is already prepared. Visible results, double speed in action. By applying this protocol, the changes are noticeable from the first day. The past event problem disappears. This condition, which is one of the leading causes of death, is often caused by poor initial digestion and sticky feces. A gut populated by good microbes from the start produces much more efficient digestion. You'll see this problem reduced by 90% or more. More activity and vigor. The chicks look more alert, stronger. There isn't that first day apathy. From the start, they are exploring, eating, drinking, not wasting time. Uniform growth without setbacks. And here is the key to double speed. A normal chick often suffers from a little diarrhea, a day of apathy, or a bit of stress that stalls its growth for 1 or 2 days. We might not notice it, but that stall costs it dearly in its development. A chick raised with this system doesn't have those breaks. Its growth curve is constant and upward from day one. It suffers no setbacks. That's why, at the end of the first or second week, when compared to a batch raised the traditional way, it seems like it grew twice as fast. It's not that it grew more than normal, it's that it hasn't had any regressions. It has expressed 100% of its genetic growth potential while maintaining strength. Care in the following weeks. I give this serum of life to my chicks during their first 3 to 5 days of life without interruption. It's the initial seeding. After that, I move to my normal living water system, rotating tonics. Perhaps 2 days a week, I give them water with a maintenance dose of probiotics, the whey or yogurt, and other days a mild oregano or chamomile tea to continue strengthening their system. The drop we gave them at birth was what laid the foundation of strength. The rest of the work in the following weeks is to keep building on those solid foundations. This method, friends, is the embodiment of the philosophy of prevention. It's understanding that it's 1,000 times easier and cheaper to build health from the beginning than to try to recover a sick animal. It's a small gesture, a preparation that costs us almost nothing, but has a profound and lasting impact on the lives of our animals. The difference between starting on the right foot, with a batch of chicks bursting with life and health, or starting on the wrong foot, fighting death and disease from day one. It is undoubtedly one of the most valuable secrets I've learned in all my years of breeding. We've sown the garden of health inside our chicks, giving them the best possible start. In our next talk, we'll see how to care for that garden during the following weeks of growth and how this first drop of health becomes a river of productivity and profitability when these birds reach adulthood. My people, it's great that you're still here, ready for the second part of this vital talk. In our last meeting, we learned how to prepare our serum of life. We understood that the secret to chicks growing twice as fast isn't a hormone, but a perfect start in health, seeding a garden of good bacteria in their gut from day one. Today, we're going to learn how to be the best gardeners. We'll see how we care for that inner garden during the most critical weeks of their growth, and how that first drop of health turns into a river of productivity and profitability for the bird's entire life. From the second week on, I start applying my living water system, but in a version for little ones, for babies. I don't use the same doses as for adults. The rotation is the same, but the measurement is milder. On days for vinegar, I use only half a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar per gallon of water. On days for herbal tea, I use a much lighter infusion of oregano or chamomile. With this, I maintain a constant positive stimulus on their immune and digestive systems without overwhelming them. The second big step in caring for this inner garden is the introduction of the right foods. Around the third week, when the chicks are more active and feathering out, I start giving them their first real food. And this is where the synergy with our philosophy of self-sufficiency begins. I introduce their first fermented food in very small amounts. I take some of their same starter powder feed, moisten it, and let it ferment for just 24 hours. The result is a probiotic mash that their digestive system, already prepared by our serum, accepts wonderfully. This further reinforces the colony of good bacteria. At the same time, I present their first salad, but not just any vegetable. I look for the most tender and soft leaves I have on the farm, some pigweed, amaranth, or purslane leaves chopped as finely as coriander. I scatter them over their food. This small gesture does two things. It provides them with fresh vitamins and minerals, and, most importantly, it gives them prebiotics. The soft fiber of these plants is the favorite food of the good bacteria we already seeded in their gut. We are feeding our army. As they grow from week 4 to 8, I increase the complexity of their diet. The ferment is no longer just the starter, but a mix of starter and some of our finely ground maize. The green mix becomes more varied, and here, in this explosive growth stage, is where the difference is seen. A chick raised like this is a rocket. Its plumage is complete and shiny. Its legs are thick and strong. Its behavior has an amazing vitality. They are curious. They don't scare easily. They are, in a word, robust. The fruit of a good start, the profitability of health. And here, friends, is where that initial drop turns into money, into the profitability of our business. Because raising chicks this way isn't just a matter of affection, it's the smartest financial decision we can make. Let's think about the numbers. The biggest economic loss in a layer project occurs in this first brooding phase. A novice breeder who doesn't apply this care can easily have a mortality rate of 20% or even 30% in the first few weeks. If they started with 100 pullets, they're left with 70. This means the cost of each of those 70 survivors has skyrocketed because they have to pay for all their sisters that died. With this system, with the power of that first drop of probiotics and the subsequent care, mortality is reduced to an absolute minimum, maybe 2% or 3%. Almost all the pullets we buy reach adulthood. Our initial investment is protected, and the cost per bird is as low as possible. But the gain doesn't end there. A pullet that has grown without suffering setbacks, without having spent energy fighting diarrhea or infections, is a pullet that reaches laying age faster and in much superior body condition. Her reproductive system is perfectly developed. The result is that she will start laying eggs a couple of weeks earlier than one raised conventionally, and her first eggs won't be as small because her body is strong and ready. Those 2 or 3 extra weeks of production multiplied by the whole batch represent a considerable amount of eggs and money. And the most important long-term gain is longevity and resilience. A hen whose digestive and immune system was perfectly programmed from the first day of her life is a hen that will be more resistant to diseases throughout her productive life. She will better handle periods of stress, like molting or weather changes. She won't burn out after the first year of laying. She'll have a longer productive life and give us quality eggs for longer. Every extra month of production from an adult hen is pure profit because her manufacturing cost was paid off long ago. So that simple drop of this in the first day's water isn't an expense. It's not extra work. It's the most profitable investment we can make. It's the life insurance for our batch and the accelerator of our future profitability, the true drop of wisdom. And at the end of this whole journey, from shell to adult layer, we realize that the secret, the true drop of power, wasn't in the yogurt or the honey. Those are just ingredients. The true secret is the philosophy behind it. The true drop is a drop of attention. It's taking the time to look at each chick, to make sure it drinks, to clean its bottom if necessary. It's a drop of foresight. It's understanding that health is built before disease arrives. It's preparing the brooder, the water, the food in advance and with intention. It's a drop of knowledge. It's understanding that a chick is not a small version of a hen, but an incredibly fragile being with very specific needs. It's understanding the importance of its gut microbiome and acting to protect it. And overall, it's a drop of respect for life. It's honoring the fragility of that new being and giving it the best possible tools so it doesn't just survive, but thrives and reaches its full potential. When we apply these drops of attention, foresight, knowledge, and respect, the result is no longer a surprise. It's a logical consequence. We'll have batches of hens that grow with a strength that seems twice as fast, that live longer and healthier lives, and that reward us with an abundance that fills our baskets and gives us the peace of mind of a prosperous business. I hope with all my heart that this long conversation has opened your eyes to the microscopic world that defines the health of our birds, and that it has inspired you to become the guardians of that first day, of that first drop, which is where the future of our entire chicken coop is written. Thank you for your time, for your attention, for allowing me to share this secret with you, which is for me one of the pillars of conscious and successful breeding. Take good care of yourselves, take care of your people, your land, and every one of the lives in your charge, however small they may be. From my farm here in this blessed land of Colombia, where every chick that's born is a promise of the future, I send you the most sincere and strongest of hugs. See you in the field. We have won the first and most important battle. We have colonized our chick's gut with an army of allies. But a garden, even if we've sown it with the best seeds, needs care so it grows strong and isn't overrun by weeds. The following weeks, from the 1st to the 6th, are the period of intensive health gardening for our birds, the cultivation of strength. Management from week 2 to 8. After having given them the serum of life during the first 3 to 5 days, our pullet system already has a solid foundation. Now our job is to nourish and maintain that internal ecosystem while they grow. This is where we integrate our knowledge into a holistic system. If this secret to strengthening your chicks from day one has changed your way of seeing raising animals in the country, please subscribe and like our channel. We are rescuing the wisdom of the earth that many have forgotten. Sow today to harvest a prosperous future. The next treasure of knowledge will be revealed very soon.